Kevy Kev here with those little red pills you're all addicted to. I want to remind you guys that black rifles matter. Black Lives Matter. Sorry. That's actually the name of my channel. I named my channel Black Lives Matter to troll the left. But I don't really care about Black Lives Matter. Look, to me, Black Lives Matter is a movement steeped in racism and hypocrisy. If you look at the things they've said and done, at best, they're a bunch of useful idiots, but really, Black Lives Matter is just a bunch of criminals and anarchists, and at the very top, it's white communists paying, or white globalists paying white communists to organize black communists to organize black criminals to go out and destroy cities and, stir things up, which they do every election cycle. If you look at Black Lives Matter, before the election, they were getting so much money. They were active in all these cities. There was something every weekend. After the election, those funds are drying up. But they still push out these ridiculous protests like their Black Friday protests. And today in Newsweek, we saw another one. Black Lives Matter want to bring down white capitalism with Black Christmas. When I saw this, and I saw the fallacy in this, I had to do a video, okay? And we're going to talk about why. Black Lives Matter is so steeped in racism and so steeped in, like I said, hypocrisy. This is going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, first of all, I should talk about the title, because one of the Black Lives Matter leaders saw this title and actually addressed it online. And he said that Black Lives Matter saying that they want a black Christmas is no less racist than white people saying they want a white Christmas. Now imagine that. This guy actually thinks that we say white Christmas, we're talking about, hey, white people, have a good time, happy holidays, only you. White Christmas means snow, you dumb, retarded moron. How can you be this stupid to think that people are saying white Christmas for white people? Look, I hate to bring this up all the time, but my own kids are mixed race. To me, Christmas is about spending time with my family, okay? I have a nephew who lives with us who's African American. I have my children who are half Hispanic, and I don't think about color. And I think that's the difference between Democrats and Republicans, right? Democrats want to put people on a pedestal based on their color and tiptoe around race all the time. People in the South, specifically, like myself, and Republicans in general, usually just say, all right, whatever, man, you're this color. We actually talk to people like normal humans. And that means criticizing people when they're doing something stupid or calling BS when they say some lie like this. Not putting them on a pedestal where they're unapproachable or paying them reparations or whatever else they want to bring up from 200 years ago that we have moved far past since then. Instead, the Democrats want to bring it all back up again. So let me read this article. Activist group Black Lives Matter of Los Angeles is calling for holiday shoppers to spend their money at black-owned businesses in a push for Black Christmas that aims to resist white supremacy through capitalism. So I'll stop right here. Blacks did better when they had capitalism. If you look back in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, Democrats will say, oh, but they were so racist back then. Racism aside, because it did exist back then. It was a problem back then. It's not now. I don't think it is now. Well, the reverse racism is now. But back then, blacks did better when they had free markets. Here in North Carolina, right down the road, they had Black Wall Street. There's no Black Wall Street anymore because blacks started voting Democrat for Democrat policies that destroy their success. They're worse off now, in most cases, than they were 40 years ago. So capitalism is great for black people. It was great for every community. Anyway, now they're saying that their approach to get rid of white supremacy through capitalism is to actually have free markets for blacks, but they think that's socialism? What is wrong with these people? How retarded can you be? Group leaders say it's time for people to resist white capitalism and divest from businesses that contribute to racial inequality. Madula Abdullah Banina, whatever that name is, a BLM leader who is a professor at California State University, Los Angeles, big surprise there, is encouraging shoppers to use their money to support economic empowerment for minorities. So let's talk about this, right? First of all, there's no business out there, white-owned or black-owned, well, maybe black-owned, I don't know, but definitely not white-owned. There's no white majority shareholder business out there that is oppressing black people. Where? Who's doing this? Nike? Shit, Nike's probably has, investors from all over the world of every color. All these big corporations, they're not owned by white people. They're owned by everybody. They're mostly owned by governments from all these other countries. So ridiculous. But let's talk about black-owned businesses, because if they're going to go shop at black-owned businesses, what will they be buying? Well, let's see here, because I have one. It is AADT. Then you have Modular Assembly Corp. You have Bridgewater Investment Group, Act One Group Workforce Management, Mana Inc. Fast Food, and then there were like 30 other fast food chains that are black-owned. Like the company I used to work for, Lundy Enterprises out of New Orleans. Mr. Lundy was a black man who did very well with Pizza Hut chains, and I was a district manager for him. He was my boss, and he was a tough boss sometimes, but he was nice. I mean, but there you go. Not everybody's working for white people. Not all these businesses are white-owned, but your Jordans, whatever else you think you're going to buy for Christmas, your Xbox, you're not going to find a black-owned company selling that stuff. So what are you going to do? Buy workplace management and fast food? So we say white capitalism. This is back to Arkell. We say white capitalism because it's important that we understand that the economic system and the racial structures are connected, said Abdullah during her weekly radio show, Beautiful Struggle. Beautiful Struggle. We have not only disputed the systems of policing that literally kill our people, they kill more white people, but we have to disrupt the white supremacists. Blacks are less likely to get shot by cops because they fear repercussions and they hesitate, which costs cops lives. And overall, police shootings were down as a whole, but really, black police shootings were down more than ever. We have to disrupt the white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal, heteronormative, blah, 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 LGBTQRSTUV. I mean, every stupid pronoun and adjective they can use in here, they do. That is really the root cause of all police killings. So, according to them, heteronormativism is the root of police killings. Patriarchy is the root of police killings. Capitalism? Why? Are cops getting paid to shoot blacks? Did we not hear about that somewhere? Black Lives Matter and other organizations build strong critique and understanding of racism, of white supremacy, homophobia, transphobia. Blacks are the most homophobic, transphobic group of them all. God dang. If you look at who cost California Prop 8 when they voted for gay marriage in California, California could not pass gay marriage democratically. So the left said, screw you guys, we don't care about your vote. Telling the black community, who were the people who voted against Prop 8, they told the black community, screw you guys, your vote is only used as a weapon for us. We do not care about your community, and we see this time and time again. The left do not care about black communities. If the left did, they would be telling Black Lives Matter to focus on police unions, because that is what is actually responsible for so many police killings, because we can't fire bad cops. And you know why blacks are still living in such poverty? Because we can't fire bad teachers because of public sector unions. But the Democrats will never go after the unions. So they make up these boogeymen, heteronormativity. Yeah, I'm sure all black people are like, hey man, if we could just deal with this heteronormativity, we might be able to, reduce crime in our neighborhood or stop police from shooting us. Reducing crime would stop police from shooting them because, if a police officer goes in a white neighborhood, they're not going to be as guarded, or I should say a rich white neighborhood, as if they go in a poor black neighborhood. Now, there's lots of black people where I live here, and they are treated very respectfully. I'm sure none of them fear the police. But if, they lived in a poor neighborhood, they would fear the police. I'm sure of it because those neighborhoods are more dangerous. Police have to escalate their level of defense posturing. The advocacy group organized Black Christmas last year and then called on consumers to shop at black-owned businesses to protest President Donald Trump. See, it always goes back to Donald Trump. Like I said, the left had the perfect opportunity to attack Donald Trump by riling up the Hispanic community, but they don't want the Hispanic. They just want their votes, but they don't want to do anything with them because they realize that Hispanics are far too conservative and far too hardworking and capitalistic for the Democratic Party. The blacks have always been their shock troops, and that just shows you the racism that comes out of the far left. So much projection. There was a tweet now. Hashtag, we're dreaming of hashtag Black Xmas, where folks withhold dollars from white capitalism and use resources to hashtag build black community. Instead of spending, donate to a black organization as a holiday gift or a loved one. Hashtag buy black. Go to blackxmas.org for more. And this goes back to what we've seen before, where blacks have called openly for white people to give up their property and give up their money to blacks. And you know, this is something that is getting out of hand because you start to see this virtue signaling, like the story I saw yesterday where a white man let his wife have sex with a black man to fight white supremacy and have a baby with her, a mixed race baby, because his DNA was not worthy of his wife's vagina and was oppressive towards these black people. I mean, how more mentally disturbed could you be? Back in the day, they would have taken that baby away because the father is clearly mentally ill and a danger to everybody. But nowadays, you know, we don't have enough social Darwinism. We don't have enough people being, you know, eaten by bears or whatever to weed out all these stupid, rotting corpse, beta male zombies that are just walking the streets, you know, mindlessly. Well, anyway, it ends the story with, rather than line the pockets of Trump and other white supremacist capitalists, well, if you don't want to line the pockets of Trump, how about voting Republicans so we don't pay so much in taxes? Because that's the money Trump's getting right now. Other white supremacist capitalists, like who? What white business owner is oppressing blacks? Like I said, it's ridiculous. We donate to black-led organizations that are building new liberatory structures in our communities, wrote Ala Abdullah in 2016 for the op-ed in Los Angeles Sentinel. So, liberatory businesses and communities, are there businesses out there that are freeing slaves? Are there slaves out there? What are they talking about? The organization's website also names Trump as the figurehead for the problem, claiming that he embodies white capitalism. Plans for Black Christmas go beyond simply purchasing items at retail stores owned by minorities. There's a call to forgo traditional shopping altogether. The site offers lists of nonprofit organizations it deems worthy of donations and asks shoppers to consider making a donation on someone's behalf rather than buying a gift. There it goes again. Give me your money, you damn white people. You don't deserve what you have. You are garbage because you might have been related, very low chance, to somebody who owned a slave 300 years ago. So screw you all, we're going to kill you all and take all your shit. Guys, you've been red-pilled. Wake them up.